All right, everybody. Welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. I am your favorite host, Christopher Bell, certified public accountant, long-term boglehead investor, author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser, and hater of communists who get jealous and bitter because billionaires decided to make smart investments in tax advantage accounts in their youth. Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about this huge news story, this amazing, shocking expose of Peter Thiel, one of the co-founders of PayPal. Now, this guy had the intelligence and the brilliance. Maybe he listens to Strongman Personal Finance. I don't know. But he had the brilliance to invest his money in a stock that exploded and became a massive fixture of people's everyday lives. And on top of that, he also invested in this stock in this thing called a Roth IRA. Now, a Roth IRA is a tax-advantaged account. I preach on my channel that you should invest the vast majority of your dollars into tax-advantaged accounts because they have special tax benefits that are going to help you build way more wealth than you would otherwise do by investing in a taxable brokerage account like Robinhood Stock, okay? That's why I hate Robinhood. They don't have a Roth IRA. It's stupid. Let's go look at this article released by ProPublica and how they seethe at how this billionaire who bought PayPal stock when it was like essentially worthless, how he grew his wealth to billions of dollars, all of which is in a tax advantage account. So it can't be taxed. I think it's freaking hilarious. And I'm actually happy for him because he was intelligent enough to know a little bit about investing. So let's go check out this article. And let's go see these commies, these thieves, seethe at how this guy is screwing them over. So here it's on ProPublica.org, and they released an article on June 24th at 5 a.m. Wow, it's pretty early. Now, the authors, Justin Elliott, Patricia Callahan, and James Bandler, are probably a bunch of freaking whiny communists, okay, that somehow think that if somebody else gets rich, that hurts them. Because, you know, by Peter Thiel being a billionaire, I mean, it makes my life so much worse because I've never used PayPal for anything. Now, let's go check out this article. Lord of the Roths, how tech mogul Peter Thiel, that stinky capitalist, turned a retirement account for the middle class into a $5 billion tax-free piggy bank. Man, it's almost like Roth IRAs are just incredibly powerful, and you should invest your money in them. All right. Billionaire Peter Thiel, founder of PayPal, has publicly condemned confiscatory taxes. That's true. He's been a major funder of one of the most prominent anti-tax political action committees. He's bankrolled a group that promotes building floating nations that would impose no compulsory income taxes. Okay, so right off the bat, they're characterizing him as, you know, an evil billionaire that wants to hoard all his money, and he doesn't want to pay, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes every year. Now, they specifically hone on the Roth IRA. Now, a quick refresher of the Roth IRA, and we'll jump right back to the article. It's an individual retirement account that offers tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. You get to contribute $6,000 a year, or $7,000 if you're 50 or older. And whatever you buy in that account, once you pay the taxes and put the money in the account, it grows tax-free for the rest of your life. It is freaking awesome. On top of that, it has no required minimum distributions, no age limit, no employer plan restrictions. There are phase-outs, and no taxes for your beneficiaries, okay? That's why Roth IRAs are freaking awesome. But of course, these people are mad because Peter Thiel invested in his Roth IRA, which is freaking ridiculous. They're basically saying if you invest in your Roth IRA and then you go on to build an outstanding company that brings value to people's lives, apparently that's a bad thing. So I would just caveat and say, be prepared that if you build a lot of wealth in a Roth IRA, you're probably going to get looked at really closely by these commies. So what did Peter Thiel do? This evil man who literally just used a law that's totally legal to invest in a Roth IRA, using stock deals unavailable to most people. I know, it's not fair. Thiel has taken a retirement account worth less than $2,000 in 1999 and spun it into a $5 billion windfall. Oh, so apparently he got a really good deal on PayPal stock because he was one of the freaking co-founders. But even then, let's say you had bought PayPal stock for $20,000 in 1999. Let's say you didn't get a great deal. and you still grew that money into $5 billion. Well, guess what? You're still sitting pretty good, okay? So they're basically saying, oh, he gets insider information or insider privileges, and it's not fair. But that's what I'm saying. If you put your money in a Roth and then you blow it out of the water, they can't freaking tax you. They can't take your money. They'll try, but as of now, as the laws are written, they can't touch your freaking money. So they compare that to the average Roth, which is worth $39,108, which is pretty sad. I think most people can have way more of that in a Roth if they actually live below their means, work whatever hours they have to do, and max their tax advantage accounts. And if you listen to me and you actually save and live below your means, you're going to have more than $39,108 in your Roth IRA. All right. So then they go on and they say, well, $5 billion, if everyone of the 2.3 million people in Houston were to deposit $2,000 in a bank today, those accounts still wouldn't equal what Peter Thiel has in his Roth IRA. That's what happens when you make smart investments inside a tax advantage account. You grow your wealth exponentially over time, and you get to pull it out tax-free in retirement. That is the beauty and the power of the Roth IRA. How does this not prove my point? Okay. That's what's more. As long as Peter Thiel wants to withdraw his money until April 2027, when he's 6 months shy of his 60th birthday, you can take it out at 59 and a half. He will never have to pay a penny of taxes on those billions of dollars. Now, let's say he did have to pay taxes because basically he just had a massive gain. So let's assume, we'll just say he has $5 billion of profits. Let's say he bought the stock in Robinhood, that excellent account, and then he held it all the way till now, and he decided to liquidate all his shares. Well, let's assume he pays the top marginal capital gains tax bracket plus the 3.8% surtax. So times 0.238, he would owe $1.1 billion. Now, simply by putting this money into a tax advantage account, this genius has saved $1.1 billion. Now, I know this makes you mad, or some of you people, but I don't care, okay? This is why you invest in a Roth IRA. It doesn't matter what everybody else has in their Roth IRA. That is the beauty and the power of this investment vehicle, and that's why you should put your money into it, okay? Jesus, I hate how these people just freaking complain about it. Blah, blah, blah. One of the most surprising of these techniques involves the Roth IRA, which limits most people contributing $6,000 a year. Yeah, like I said, you can only put in $6,000 per year. So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's really not much more to say about this, but I would really encourage you, just by reading this article and seeing what this guy did, that if you max your tax advantage accounts, you're going to have massive advantages in retirement over people that are trading in and out of securities. Like go watch Jeremy Lefebvre or Me Kevin or whatever. All they're doing is buying and selling and paying all these taxes. And when they get to retirement, since they don't have a lot of their money in tax advantage accounts, whenever they sell those securities, they're going to be paying massive freaking taxes. And you don't know what capital gains taxes are going to be in the future. They might jack those up simply because the government is basically living beyond its means. But if you have your money in a tax advantage account, you'll never pay freaking taxes again, especially with the Roth IRA. So if that doesn't prove, the point that I've been making the last freaking year on this YouTube channel that nobody wants to hear, and I know it's so hard, like nobody talks about Roth IRAs on YouTube, which is freaking stupid. I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but all the big YouTubers, the famous ones, they don't talk about this stuff. All they care about is the next 10x stock, and they don't even factor in the tax consequences. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me answer these two questions, and then I'm going to sign off. Hello. I know some lawmaker wanted to limit the Roth IRA to $5 million. What an odd amount. Yeah, whatever. It's stupid. I mean, most of you are not going to have $5 million in retirement, which, I mean, I probably won't either. But, I mean, even then, sheltering $5 million in retirement from taxes is massive. It'll probably save you upwards of $1 million when you start selling your shares in retirement. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about me, max your tax advantage accounts. Don't worry about what communists are complaining about, and y'all have a wonderful, delicious day.